If you're thinking about renovating a property in Lancaster, picking the wrong updates and renovations can cost you tens of thousands of dollars. In this video, I'll show you which renovations are worth doing, how to avoid overspending, and the biggest mistakes I see homeowners and investors making. At the top of the list of things you can do to improve the price point of your home is update the kitchen. The things that are going to add value are going to be shaker cabinets, quartz or granite countertops, adding a tasteful backsplash, updating the hardware and the lighting in the kitchen, and also just having a functional layout. Now, the main thing here is you do not need to spend $60,000 on a brand new kitchen. A clean, modern $20,000 to $30,000 renovation is going to be more than enough for the majority of homes. The biggest mistakes I see are people trying to do custom cabinetry, picking a bold color, try to cheap out on laminate cabinets or butcher block versus going for quartz, moving plumbing as this can be tremendously expensive, and over improving for the neighborhood. If you're in a $250,000 neighborhood, you do not need to spend 40 grand on a kitchen. Number 2 on the list is bathrooms. Now, bathrooms don't always add a huge amount of value, but what they can do is give someone confidence that the home is updated and feeling fresh. An outdated bathroom is definitely going to hurt your overall resale value. So what adds value is going to be a walk-in tiled shower, updating the vanity with a stone top, refreshing the lighting, adding a nice new mirror. Now, a bathroom could easily cost you $25,000. Try to avoid moving plumbing around, keep the budget somewhere between $10,000 to $15,000, and also try to avoid having 0 bathtubs in a property. Especially in family neighborhoods, if people are starting a family, they often like to have at least 1 bathtub in the property. And if you live in a high-end area, avoid doing those cheap acrylic inserts. Do splash the cash there and get yourself a nice, tasteful tile. Number 3 is going to be a finished basement. Finished basements are great for home offices, for playrooms, for gyms, and additional storage. Number 4 is going to be that curb appeal. So you want to make sure that curb appeal is nice. If you pull up and the paint's peeling, the porch is falling apart, it's not going to give a very good indicator for potential buyers. I always say a home is a 10 when you first see it, and as you walk through, you kind of reduce it down by the things you see wrong. If you pull up to the home and it's got fresh paint, there's a brand new door, all the windows are intact, you've got some nice landscaping, then you're already going to be way ahead of the curve. Sometimes a $5,000 investment in getting the outside painted and doing some landscaping is going to add more than $10,000 to $15,000 in perceived value. If you do have shutters, make sure they get freshly painted. There are companies who can come out and paint your shutters for $26 a shutter. They'll be there in and out in less than a couple of hours. Number 5 is going to be adding a bedroom or bathroom. So a big one for this would be if you're able to add a half bathroom or full bathroom in some of the older townhomes in Lancaster, this can greatly improve your value. This is because a lot of those older homes only have 1 small bathroom on the main floor. So if you're able to separate one of the bedrooms to create a slightly smaller one and a second larger bathroom, this is going to increase the value of your property by quite a lot. Another option is to put a half bathroom in the ground floor, especially if you have a basement. You can tend to run the plumbing quite easily, and having that half bathroom on the downstairs is going to make it much more saleable. And now let's finish off with a couple of things that don't add a huge amount of value to your property. If your home is under $300,000, I wouldn't bother doing a high-end kitchen renovation, a high-end bathroom renovation, or even adding high-end appliances. You can pick up a set of appliances for around $2,000. That includes your stove, fridge, microwave, and dishwasher. Don't go out and buy a $3,000 KitchenAid stove because you won't get your money back. Unless you're in very specific neighborhoods, don't get yourself a pool. They can be tremendously expensive and they're not going to add any perceived value to your property. And as a general rule, I would avoid over improving based on your area. So if you're in a street where the average price point is $400,000, that gives you a little bit more leeway to go with a more expensive kitchen or adding the bathroom. Whereas if you're in a neighborhood where the price point is $200,000 to $250,000, I probably wouldn't go and spend $30,000, $40,000 on a kitchen at that point. If you're renovating to sell, you want to fix structural issues first. You want to do some fresh paint. This is a very cost-effective way of making the home feel fresh and neutral. If you have a very old kitchen or bathroom, you maybe want to look at doing some renovations into that area as well. And then you'll want to improve your curb appeal. So when people first pull up, they look at the property and they fall in love right away. One of the biggest mistakes I see from homeowners is if they're not planning on being in that home for very long, they tend to over-renovate the home. So if you're planning on being there more than 5 years, sure, spend a bit more on the kitchen, spend a bit more on the bathroom. But if you're really looking at moving in the next couple of years, I would just get a nice cost-effective version of what you're doing and save that additional money towards a down payment or purchasing a property with a nicer one next time. Now, if you want a little bit more information on how much does it cost to get renovations done, click this video here. And if you're thinking about buying an older home that maybe needs some renovations, then check out this video here, which talks about what inspections you should get when going to buy an older home.